Hey guys, I just wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about the sculpture. As you can see, I've been putting a lot more detail, but unfortunately, I'm still having a lot of issues. It requires a lot of work to get this to kind of come forward a little bit. It's got definitely issues that we're trying to correct, but now my goal is to remove the section in between our legs. And oftentimes I do that right at the end when it gets very hard. And when it gets very hard, one of the techniques that you could possibly use for firing it is just leave that triangle as a base to hold the sculpture up. Or another thing you can do is you can split the sculpture just down the middle. And that way you can hollow out the in-between or the insides of the sculpture. This is a technique they use a lot of times for terracotta clay because it has to be hollow inside. But it can't just be hollow inside without any way of the air not escaping. I'm still trying to sculpt this, and it's always good to have the entire figure in the kiln. And this will fit in most kilns. It's about 15 inches, probably a little bit, maybe 20 inches or so tall. And most kilns should be able to take it. Right now it's wet, but it's hard enough that we can still work it. Another thing is the hair. The hair uses up a lot of clay, and on this one you can see that it's almost coming down to the back of our, almost to the armature section that goes in. And in the original sculpture it's a lot longer, but I'm probably going to keep it at this size, and I think that's fine. You could also remove the hair and fire it separately. But so far we're kind of like moving in the right direction. This sort of lighting that I have right now is a lot more closely resembling the reference. And it's always nice to have these edges because when you are sculpting, you can kind of see where the rises are, and you can follow these and make it even sharper. But you don't want to rely too much on this. You want to rely more on the anatomy instead of the coloring process, because you don't want to think that, oh, it's sculpture is painting. And that's one of the problems with sculpture, is that often artists will try too much on the coloring aspect of sculpture, so you have to kind of rely a little bit more on anatomy than sculpture. But that's the status of the sculpture. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video where we finally will put this sculpture and finish it.